Whew. Hi, welcome. This is EverCoach. This is a place for powerful coaches to hang out in community. We get to connect with each other, we get to talk, we get to play, we get to lean into our edge, we get to feel uncomfortable. This is a place to come if you want to be challenged. This is a place to come if you want to play. This is a place to come if you are ready to step up to the next level, whatever that next level might be for you. There are coaches in EverCoach who already make six figures and want to play a bigger game. There are coaches in EverCoach who've never had a paying client before and everything in between. And so I just like to play at the highest level. I just like to call out your greatness. It's what I do with clients all the time. I search for what I call the glimpse of genius. And here we are. We get to play. And I brought 3 more geniuses into the room today. And we're really going to play. But first, I want to talk about 2 secrets to succeeding at the highest levels as a coach. 2 things that people never talk about. I rarely hear coaches talking about these things. Leadership and language. Leadership. Being a powerful leader is really what it takes to be a powerful coach. Leading on an inner level. Are you doing the inner work that it takes? I mean, you can't take a client any deeper than you've gone yourself. How much self-awareness do you have? How much awareness do you have of your strengths and also those places where you hold yourself back? The deep inner work. You can't take a client any deeper than you've gone yourself. How much coaching have you had? How many training courses have you gone to? How many challenges have you given yourself that have taken yourself really into your own edge? And there's the outer leadership too. The outer leadership, when you coach a client, are you willing to ask them to do the things that have them feel uncomfortable? Are you willing to say the things that have you feel uncomfortable? Are you willing to search for the glimpse of genius in them and then draw it out of them no matter what? To hold powerfully to that vision you have of that person in front of you, even when they fight you over it, even when they're not willing to admit how powerful they are. Are you willing to keep holding that vision of who they are for you? Inner leadership, outer leadership. And then there's other leadership. Where are you leading others? Where are you creating your own tribe? Yesterday, somebody was telling me that they'd been invited to do a, what do they call it these days? One of those webinars when a group of people are on the same call, and she was really inspired by the person who was running it, and he listened to her, and he was inspired by her. He was blown away by her. And at the end, he said, and by the way, you need to have an email list of 5,000 people to be on this, to be on our sharing your stuff in this group. And she called me and she said, like, she was kind of upset by this and hurt by this. She doesn't have an email list of 5,000 people. And I said to her, look, he's not interested in you. He's interested in the size of your email list. And the only reason he's interested in the size of your email list is because he can then send his emails to the people on your list. And he thinks you'll come in because you get to do the same. So he'll get to spam a bunch of strangers and he's giving you the opportunity to do the same thing. You want to know how big my email list is? I said to her, it's 1,000 people. My personal, professional email list is 1,000 people. And I'm proud of that. Because my email list is people who've engaged with me, people who've connected with me, people who've experienced me, people who I've spent time with again and again and again, people who've come to my trainings, have spent time coaching with me, have spent time in conversation with me. I'm not interested in an email list of thousands or tens of thousands of people following me on Twitter. I'm interested in a community of people who I love, who inspire me, and who get value from spending time hanging out with me. And she said, whew, that's such a relief. Like, I was feeling bad, I was feeling guilty. Like, maybe I should put all my time and attention onto growing my email list now. Is that's the only way? And it's like, it's not. Nothing wrong with having a big email list. I'm partnered with Mind Valley here because they have an extraordinary email list, 8 million people, I think. And they have a different mission. They're not coaches. They're about building community. They have great products and information that people will get value from. As coaches, most of the time that's not what we're doing. Leadership. Inner leadership. outer leadership, other leadership, tribal leadership. Where are you building your tribe? And not a tribe for the sake of having a tribe of people like you, a tribe of strange, idiosyncratic, unusual people, quirky people, just like you, your people. The more you're willing to be your quirky self, the more your quirky people will show up. Tribal leadership. A tribe of raving fans. I don't care about people who want to follow me just because it's interesting to have someone else on their list. I want raving fans. People who love what I do, people where I love what they do. Tribal leadership. The leadership, and then there's language. What's the powerful language of enrollment? What's the kind of language that draws your people to you? And some of you may have noticed over time that I'm a student of language. I'm fascinated by etymology. Etymology is the derivation of words. Where do they come from? Most words in the Western world have a Latin derivation, sometimes Old English, but you can tell a lot from a word's history. Often its historical meaning has much more impact than the current usage. And I'm fascinated by words, always studying words, because they give power to the language that I use. They give power to my communication. I got a message this morning from a coach who said he's been coaching someone for a while on an hourly basis. And he's been doing some good work, but it's not feeling inspired right now. There's something missing for him, and what could he do about it? And I wrote to him, and I want to read to you what I wrote in my response. I replied to a number of points that he had, and I have his permission I sought his permission, and I have his permission to respond to him with an email. I don't always do this. Most of the time I want to be in conversation with somebody. I don't coach anyone over email unless I have complete permission. And this wasn't really coaching. I was just drawing out his greatness as a coach. So he said to me first, and I responded to this piece, he said, I've been coaching on some issues around business and finances and his mindset and his insecurities. And then he wrote, my sense is he's getting great benefit from the engagement in both monetary and personal terms. And I wrote, why are you saying my sense is? How come you don't know? If he's not raving about your coaching, so it's a clear hell yes to continue, whatever you charge, then your fees and your length of engagement are not the issue. It's an issue about the impact of your coaching. You see, he was asking me about, like, how do I raise my fees from an hourly rate to a monthly package or beyond that? That's not the issue here. And I know that from those words he used with me. When he says, my sense is he's getting great benefit. I went on to say, several years ago, a woman in my first Confident Woman salon called me. And she said, look, I know you've just raised your rates, but I want to hire you as my personal coach. Now the salon's over. Would you be willing to honor the rate that you were charging? Because only about a week ago you had that old rate, and I know it's just gone up. And I said, no. I said, I'm sorry. My rates have gone up, and you know the power of my coaching. So you got to decide. If it's worth to you to invest at this level, then you're in. And if it's not worth it, then you're not. And both are fine with me, and you don't need me. Everything you've got from this salon has been powerful and will have a resonant effect into the future. And she looked at me and said, I hate you. And then she wrote me a check for the full fee. It's never an issue about fees. It's only an issue about the impact you're having and the experience they've had of you, and do they want more of it. The second thing he wrote was, over time I've grown dissatisfied with this payment arrangement. I don't like keeping track of the time and the sessions. It's distracting. Our relationship's strong, but I don't think I've created a powerful container for his intentions on our work together. And I wrote back, it's not the monthly fees that create the powerful container. What creates a powerful container is you as the coach. Have you crafted powerful agreements with him? Have you challenged him powerfully where he isn't true to his word in life? Are you seeing his greatness? Are you calling out his greatness? One of the third things he wrote is, this would in most ways be exactly like what we do now, except we'd have a clear intention around what we're going to look to accomplish in the next 6 months. He wants to take this monthly coaching and put it into a 6-month coaching, and he says, there'll be a clearer intention. I responded here, go deeper than a clearer intention. You don't need a clearer intention. You need to call out from him a mission so powerful that no one could stop him. Dig into the contribution he wants to make to the planet and the legacy he wants to leave for his children and in his business. Discover the impact he's making now and have him envision what would it be like to take that and multiply it by a factor of 10. Shake his foundations, rock his world, and then tell him you need 3 hours in your next session. Have him leave his cell phone at home and then take him deeper than you've ever taken a client. Say to him what no one else would ever dare to say. And then, if he inspires you, and nothing less than you feeling totally inspired will do, if he inspires you, then you can say to him, here's what I'd like to do. Based on the vision you just described, and say it back to him, describe his vision back to him, make this personal. Based on the vision you described, I want to design for you the most powerful coaching agreement I've ever crafted. It's going to be tailor-made for you. It will be designed to support you with that vision. It will include a strategy so that day in, day out, you remain focused on your bigger picture. We'll dive into your mindset. Let's remove all those blocks and barriers and limiting beliefs that stand in your way. We'll look at your skill set. What are the skills you need to add in to support you in this amazing vision? And we'll work on your energy. Let's remove from your life the people, the places, and the habits that drain you of energy, which will free you and have you moving more swiftly in the direction you're heading than you could possibly imagine. And then pause and check in and ask him, how does that sound? Ask him, is there anything missing from that you'd like support on? If there is, find a way to craft that in too. And then, and only then, can you look him in the eyes and say something like this: this project is far bigger in scope and reach and depth than any of the work we've done together until now. So of course, our terms are going to be very different. But before I get there, let me explain to you first that you don't need me to make this project a success. You can do this on your own. You can do it without me. And if you'd like my support, let me know and I will tell you how it will work and the investment you'll need to make. And then pause. And then go quiet. And you'll discover what happens next. Now, even though I was reading that, so I wasn't fully in my body because I wanted to capture those words, I could feel myself changing. You have to be a leader in that moment. You can't think about it. It's just you have to be that. It has to flow from you. Really, I was calling out the greatness of his client. And by doing so, I was calling out the greatness of that coach that I was talking to. Lead powerfully and be clear in the language you use as you lead. Leadership and language, two of the most powerful keys to really succeeding as a coach. I realize that, wow, I really am feeling that. I'm really feeling it in my body. I have to go there. You can't just talk about this stuff. You have to be it. Yeah, you have to be it.